There are not many anime-styled MMORPGs out there, and much less so actual good ones. Personally, I can't even think of one which I would actually consider good. Fortunately, that is gonna change as Blue Protocol Star Resonance releases on October 9th. It has for sure been the best anime-styled MMO I have played so far, and while I don't like everything about it and I do not consider it a perfect game, it has been the one true anime MMO experience I have been waiting for since a very long time. And even though this video is in fact sponsored by Blue Protocol Star Resonance, I did inquire rather early on whether or not I am free to say what I actually think about the game, and well, I can do so. And you see this video because I can, and that also means I will talk about my true unfiltered honest thoughts on the game. We will cover what Blue Protocol Star Resonance is about, the good and the bad, my personal experience playing it, and whether or not this game is for you. I will keep this as spoiler-free as I can, but this is a video and not a podcast, and hence B-roll is a thing. If you don't wanna get spoiled, well, just listen to it in the background. Blue Protocol Star Resonance is an anime-styled MMORPG blending a variety of gameplay ranging from very difficult raids with up to 20 players to casual fashion contests in the heart of the main city, offering a wide variety of gameplay experiences for everyone. But at its core, it has a strong focus on customization and social interactions, which is also literally shoved straight into your face the moment you start the game because the character customization is extremely in-depth. In another world, I always have been an otaku emo girl deep inside, not really, so I made one and made sure the hair color also matches mine. Well, my avatar's that is, so still mine, but from like 6 years ago. Anyway, gotta make sure we stay clean, so we take a bath in the ocean, encounter some dark and mysterious force, and then wake up in our bed. Introductory dialogue and one main quest later, and we are at adventure level 25, so now I can actually talk a little bit about the game. The main story features a lot of visual, light novel-like anime text, but I just started skipping it halfway through because it honestly was not too interesting to me and also not voiced half of the time, which is not so great on one hand, but on the other, this is a spoiler-free review and this way I cannot spoil it even if I wanted to. But let's take a step back. For my emo otaku goth girl here, I chose the just as emo otaku goth edgy sounding class Stormblade. But as of right now, there are 8 classes in total you can choose from, and each of them comes with 2 specializations. But fret not, while in other MMOs you have to make a new character if you feel like switching your class, in Blue Protocol Star Resonance you do not. You have one character, yourself. Well, technically you can have multiple characters as well, but the focus is really on just you. And hence, if you want to switch your class or spec, you can do so at any time. This is also true if you want to change your appearance, such as hair, body type, or literally anything, but doing so does require a ticket from the shop. This ticket is however easily obtainable by free-to-play players as well, so don't worry about that. Each class comes with their own unique skill tree and a set of skills, but contrary to most other MMOs, you cannot just bring your entire skill set here. You have to select up to 4 skills, and this also means there are multiple ways of building each class. As per usual and as to be expected from an MMO, there is also a large open world to explore. Which is actually not fully true, it is more of an open zone type MMO, and while each area is very large in itself, there is a loading screen when switching between those. The zones however are beautifully crafted and also have a lot of verticality to them. Fortunately, as our adventure rank goes up at various adventure levels, you unlock more potential, such as up to 5 air jumps, wall running, or even a nerfed version of flying, which makes running around and exploring the world as well as opening chests such a fun experience. But the game also features the classic dungeon and raid experience, and fortunately the bosses of this game have actual mechanics you have to learn and play. Dungeons come in various difficulties ranging from normal to master, and then master 1, master 2, master 3, master 4, and a lot more. Master difficulty dungeons also come with 6 affixes, which change every week and make for challenging content with a lot of replayability. With each class and spec having a different playstyle and role as well, there is a lot of variety to the game's combat, and since perfect dodges are actually a thing, that makes it even more interesting. Defeating bosses also has a chance to drop their so-called Battle Imagine, and these Battle Imagines can be equipped and used in combat as well. Essentially, you stole your foe's purpose and now use them against themselves. But if you listen closely, there is a catch. It's the little keyword chance. This chance is unfortunately very small, and also farming and upgrading your Battle Imagines can take a very long time. This is also because of the maximum of 2 daily keys you get, which you need for a chance to obtain one of these materials to craft the Battle Imagine, and some of the high tier ones also need a lot of them. However, the actual very cool thing about this game is that nearly everything can be sold and bought in the trading center, and that also does include the gacha skins, mounts and Battle Imagines. Well, most of them, that is. Both selling and buying requires a currency called Luno, and Luno is, well, it is very hard to come by, and frankly there are only 3 sources in the game as far as I'm aware of. The first source is you pay money. The second source is you sell your materials and crafted items in the trading center, but to list your items in the first place you do need Luno. And that means you will need to first obtain Luno through the third and last method, by joining a guild and handing in the daily cargo. Without a guild or spending money, you cannot obtain Luno, which makes joining a guild essentially mandatory, and not only for this reason. Furthermore, early into the game you will want to collect materials in the overworld, you know, the classic herbs, fruits, minerals and so on, to then sell them in the trading center. But this farming requires and consumes focus, and you only get 400 of it every day, unless you join a guild or spend money. The Season Pass has a few of these potions which restore 100 focus, and the guild shop sells these potions for in-game currency as well. TLDR, in my opinion, joining a guild and participating in the daily and weekly guild activities is not optional. This is probably the biggest gripe I have with the game. Like, it isn't the end of the world if you don't join a guild, you can still do everything in the game, but you will notice a difference, especially within the first few weeks compared to someone who did not join one. Of course, that is only if you care about being competitive in the trading center or in the end game. While I personally don't really care too much about this in the game, not everybody wants to join a guild, and much less so participate in guild activities. Even more so if some of these are rather a little bit too limited in availability. Like really 25 minutes a week and only on one specific weekday? Well, generally a lot of the leisure events are for my taste a little bit too limited in availability, but they mainly grant friendship points which can be exchanged for cosmetics only, so I reckon it doesn't matter as much. Unless you only care about these cosmetics, then I guess it does. And a few hours and a lot more story quests later, and as you might have noticed, I also look much more edgy now, which is possible due to the large amounts of outfits and customization this game actually has. In fact, nearly the entire shop is made out of cosmetics only, and while there are entire sets of cosmetics, you can also mix and match them as you like to make the most ugly persona ever. Well, if you're into that. There should be a leisure event for the ugliest transmog. Well, if the game doesn't make one, I guess the community will find a way. Essentially, Blue Protocol Star Resonance really is the one true enemy MMO where you will find something you enjoy. Be it the difficult endgame raids, the casual collection and customization of hundreds of different cosmetics or mounts, exploring the world, crafting or selling in the trading center, or simply decorating your own house with the game's housing system. Alright, we didn't actually talk about that yet. Blue Protocol Star Resonance also features a housing system called Homestead. After a short questline, you can unlock your own little island. Your homestead does not only feature very extensive decoration and placement features which allow you to place your walls and furniture however you want, you can even adjust the lighting to whatever you like. You can also grow some crops, and while I am sure there is much more to this, there is one specific feature I want to highlight. You can share your homestead with up to 4 other players. Why, you might ask? Well, the homestead does not only have a warehouse where you can store your own items, it is in fact a shared warehouse, so your roommates can access those as well. It is honestly a pretty cool feature. Aside from that, we can also do commissions by handing in materials to level up our homestead. And if you now think, goddamn, this game looks like a huge time sink, yes. Yes, it is. But if you don't and you just log off to touch some grass for a few days or even weeks, that is okay. When you come back, the Reclaim Hub will allow you to spend Reclaim coins to simply collect and buy the materials and loot you have missed from doing dailies in the shop. Just like that, no strings attached. In fact, it might be a little bit too good because it literally does not matter if you miss your dailies or weeklies, or, well, you don't. Actual W, very player friendly. Actually, there is one string attached, because that is only half true, as you will miss out on the daily bound rose orbs, which you need for pulling on the Battle Imagine gacha, or to buy cosmetics in the shop, but in terms of catching up on materials and equipment, this really doesn't matter much. Personally, I feel like Blue Protocol Star Resonance is more aimed at the casual player base, but if you are more into hardcore endgame content, you will find yourself a home here as well, even if you might not top the DPS meter without spending. The 0.15% base chance in the gacha doesn't really help much either, and you will pretty much always hit the max pity. Is what I wanted to say here, but then this happened at like 60 pity. So I guess that argument is now invalid. Great. Anyway, I gotta admit, I originally was not really too interested in this game. Like, MMOs are a huge time sink after all, and I am rather limited in time. But after I've played it now, I will say I know what I'm doing on October 9th and the week after, and using the link in the description you can do so as well. And if you do, join my guild, you know it is mandatory. Blue Protocol Star Resonance is not perfect. But it doesn't need to be, no game is after all. It is still the best anime MMO I personally have ever played, and I am looking forward to its release. And with that, thank you Blue Protocol Star Resonance for paying a fraction of my next guide video and actually convincing me to play this game on release, which is tomorrow. So scroll down, expand the description and download the game. If you are like me, you will enjoy your time in this game as well. Thanks for watching, peace.